Do you remember how I defined Power Query to be a powerful ETL tool, a tool for data extraction, for transforming your data and for loading your data, right? So today we'll be looking at some basic transformation using Power Query in Microsoft Excel. And some of these transformations we're looking at is how to promote our headers, how to remove or keep rows or columns in our data. Now let's check out this transformative power of Power Query in Microsoft Excel.
The data we'll be transforming today is an Excel file, and as usual, for you to get import your file into Power Query, just come to your new query group, then click on the drop down button beside new source to source for the data. So Excel workbook, now select the file I want to work with and import. So Power Query is trying to connect to it. Now I'll check this box for me to select this, and I can see the data. I can see a preview of it. Now hit OK. So here we have our data in Power Query. You'll notice something. We have some rows at the top that are not needed. You can see the column headers here: ID, name, age, city, the email, and we have extra column. So if I scroll down, I get to see another row that is not needed. So in this video, we're looking at how we can remove columns that we don't need, remove rows that we don't need, promote our headers, and keep rows that we need. So how do we remove these rows that we don't need? Because these top 3 rows are not needed. So to do this, in your home tab, inside your reduce row group, you see 2 commands. We have the keep row command and remove rows command. Since we want to remove rows, you have to work with the remove row command. So I'll click on this drop down button, and we have different options. You want to remove top rows, or you want to remove bottom rows, or you want to remove alternate rows, or remove duplicates, or you want to remove blank rows or remove errors. So if you have errors, you can remove them. If you have blank rows, you can remove them. If you have duplicates, you can remove them. Since what I want to remove is just top rows, I'm also going to remove that row at the bottom that we don't need, this one. So let's just remove the top row. So I'll click on this drop down button and I'll hit remove top rows. So here I have this dialog box. So it's asking how many number of rows do you want to remove. I want to remove 3, so I'll input 3 and hit OK. Don't forget I told us that every step you're applying in Power Query would be seen here, and there's nothing like undo or redo here. You can only, like using Ctrl+Z or Ctrl+Y to undo or redo, you can only cancel step. And be careful when cancelling or deleting a step. It means you can't get it again. So let's say I want to undo what I've done. I'll just cancel this and boom, it goes back to the original form. So let's do it again. I want to remove top rows. So assuming instead of 3 rows, you by mistake imputed 2 rows, then hit OK. You can always go back to correct that. And how do you do it? Just come here. You can see this settings icon here. Click on this button. Then you can now change from 2 to 3 and hit OK. Then it removes the row that you don't need completely. So let's remove for the bottom one. You can't just get that option to remove rows here in your reduce row groups alone. You can also get it here. You can see this table icon. When you click on the drop down button beside it, you see different options. You want to copy the entire table. You want to use first row as headers. You want to add column. You see different options. You want to remove top rows, keep rows, keep bottom rows, keep range rows. You want to remove duplicate. You want to remove bottom. You have different options to do that here. Same thing on that column you want to work with. You can just or just right click on any of the column and you see different options. Do you want to remove the column, or you want to duplicate the column or remove errors? So we have options too. So let's just use this to remove bottom rows. Click on this drop down button and you'll see remove bottom rows. So I'll click on this, then specify the number of rows I want to remove at the bottom, just 1. Now hit OK. If you scroll down now, you can't find that row anymore. It's no longer that has been removed, and every of the steps we've applied are recorded here. So the next thing we want to look at is how are we going to make this our headers. Currently you are seeing this data set is gotten online, column 2, column 3, column 4. You're just seeing them at the top, which is not making sense. To make these headers, it means we have to promote them. And how do we promote them? Still in your home tab, inside the transform group, you will see the options for you to the command for you to use your first row as headers. You can see it here. We have a drop down button beside it. Click on the drop down button, you see different options too. Do you want to use first row as headers, or you want to use headers as first row? If your headers are meant to be first row, you click on this. But if your first row are meant to be headers, you click on this. Currently, my first row here is meant to be header, so I'll click on use first row and header as headers. Then boom, we have this. Then you notice we have another step recorded here. This was the step we just applied. We promoted headers, but automatically Microsoft Power Query helped us to update the data type. When you come here, let's click on this and see what data type. You can see it's showing ABC123 ABC, which is for alphabet, ABC123 combination of alphabet and numbers, ABC. But the moment we promoted the headers, sorry, let's look at this one here. Yes, it's showing ABC123 ABC123 ABC. The moment we promoted headers, automatically it helped us change data type, and you no longer see ABC123 here, but now 123, which shows that this column contains numerical data. Then ABC, it means this column contains just text type of data. Same thing for the rest. It has updated the data type automatically. We'll look at data types in our next video, but for now let's just continue what we are doing. So we promoted the headers now, making the first row as our column headers. Very easy, right? Okay, today how to remove duplicate from our data. So look at this data here. If you notice, we have some duplicates here. Let's see. Let's look at the name. We have John Doe. So let's see. We have John Doe. Do we have John Doe here again? John Doe. Let's see. Yes, we have John Doe again. The same record. John Doe again. So this table contains duplicates, multiple records of people. So how do we remove this? To remove this now, all I have to do is either I select the column where the duplicate is that I want to remove. Then, like I said, is that you come here in your reduce rows, come here and say remove duplicates, or you come here and you select the options to remove duplicates. Or let's see if it's here when you right click. Yes, right click and remove duplicates. So let's just work with this. Remove duplicate. Then boom, it removes the duplicate. Can you see here now that it's no longer 50 rows but 46 rows? It means the duplicate rows in this data has been removed. We now have 46 rows here. Okay, so let's say I want to remove the column, this extra info. I don't need it for my analysis. It's not useful to me. It's not useful. So I want to remove this. For me to remove this, is that I select this column, then still here in my home tab, inside the manage columns group, you see the options to remove columns here. When you click on this drop down button, you see two options. Do you want to remove that column you selected, or you want to remove other columns aside from the one you selected? Since I want to remove this, I'll just click on remove columns and it removes it. So what if I highlighted others like this, select, and I want to remove this one I don't need? All I have to do is just still here in the manage column group, click on the button, and now I'm not going to choose remove columns because all these ones are highlighted. I'll click on remove other columns. It will remove the one I did not highlight. So I'll click on remove other columns and it removes the column automatically. This is how you remove columns in your data set, columns that you don't need. So I hope you've been able to grab one or two from how to remove top rows or bottom rows, or remove duplicates or columns. So I think one last thing is I'll show you how you can keep rows. So let's say I want to keep only details about people that are greater than 30 alone. I only want to keep details about people greater than 30 alone. So I'll just select the age group, still in the home tab, in the reduce row group, click on the drop down button beside keep rows. So we have different options. You want to keep the top rows. So if you want to keep the top rows, you click on top rows and specify the number of rows you want to keep. If it's bottom rows you want to keep, the same thing. If you want to keep range of rows, if you want to keep duplicate, no problem. So let's look at range of rows and see what happens. So specify the range of rows to keep. First row, is it first row you want to keep, or you want to keep, and the number of rows you want to keep, let's say I want to keep 30. If you click on second row will match the first row. Let's assume I'm clicking on second row and hit OK. So it will only keep from the second row. You can see ID number is 2 from Jane Smith down to the person with ID 30. So let's cancel this. Still keeping rows, keep top row, keep bottom row, keep duplicate. If you want to keep errors, you keep errors also. So that's how you can keep rows in Power Query. Also, if you also want to keep rows too, still in your home tab, in the reduce rows group, you see the option, the command for keep rows. When I click on this drop down button now, you can see do you want to keep top rows. So if I click on I want to keep top rows, to ask you to specify the number of rows you want to keep. I say okay, I want to keep the first 20 rows, and I hit OK. It would give me the first 20 rows. So let me cancel this step. I don't want it to be that. I'm just showing us. Same thing. Do you want to keep the bottom rows? You specify the number of bottom rows you want to remove. You want to keep. Do you want to keep range of rows? Do you want to keep duplicate? Do you want to keep errors? Let's look at this range of rows. You can say my first row should start from row 5. Then the number of rows you keep after row 5 should be 10. Then I'll hit OK. So it will return from row 5, then keep 10 rows from row 5. So you can do that. Alright, so let me just cancel this. So what if I only want to keep rows where these people are greater than age 30? So all I have to do is just, you can see we have filter buttons beside every column headers. So click on these drop down buttons beside the column header for age. Then you see the option for number filters. So I'll click on number filter because it's a number column. Then the next thing is I want to filter only for people that are greater than 30. So I'll use greater than. Then here we have greater than what? I want greater than 30. So if you have another criteria, you click on that, and I just hit OK, and boom, we have the record of those that are just greater than 30. This is how you just perform some basic transformation with your data on Power Query. We just look at how you can promote headers, keep rows, remove either top or bottoms, how you can also remove duplicates in your data using Power Query. Very easy, right? Alright, so please do well to practice. As usual, don't forget to like and share this video to those that need this video. So if you are visiting my channel for the very first time, please do well to hit the subscribe button so as not to miss out on the videos that will be coming out after this. Alright, thank you so much for watching and for your support so far. See you in the next video. Bye.